Today we will be looking at an example of VNTR analysis. One evening, Mystery Incorporated received a call from an individual stating that he had heard loud noises from Fred's house. FYI, in case y'all don't know, Fred is the guy who yells "My leg" in random episodes of SpongeBob. Mystery Incorporated reached Fred's house and saw him laying dead on the ground, filled with bruises, and yeah, both his legs were broken. The gang then split up and looked for clues. Scooby found a stick whose one end was covered with blood, but had a pair of fingerprints on the other end. Velma, who was the smart one, decided to run a gel electrophoresis test to find the murderer. Upon asking witnesses, they found the suspects to be SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Pearl, and Mr. Krabs. In this test, the alleles move from the origin based upon the number of tandem repeats. The alleles from the DNA of the fingerprints at locus 1 moved at a different position to that of the victim. Thus, Fred would be excluded from leaving the evidence. The same applies to Patrick, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs, since all of their alleles move to different positions than the DNA of the evidence, and can hence all be excluded. On the other hand, SpongeBob and Pearl's alleles move the same distance as that of the DNA from the evidence, so they cannot be excluded. When we take a look at the VNTR at locus 2, we can by default exclude the characters that were excluded at locus 1, aka Patrick, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs. For this reason, even Squidward, whose alleles at locus 2 move the same distance as the alleles from the evidence, he would be excluded. That leaves our potential suspects as SpongeBob and Pearl. SpongeBob's alleles move at a different distance to that of the DNA on the evidence, so SpongeBob would be excluded. Pearl's alleles, on the other hand, would once again move at the same distance as the alleles from the evidence, so she would not be excluded. Pearl is therefore our main suspect and was questioned by Mystery Incorporated. Under immense pressure, she stated that her father, Mr. Krabs, made her commit this act. Mr. Krabs denied this, but Mystery Incorporated decided to double-check anyways. They double-checked this by taking a look at the results of the gel and observing whether one of Pearl's alleles matched Mr. Krabs' alleles on both loci, which is in fact shown by the one circle. This showed that Mr. Krabs is Pearl's father after all. Mr. Krabs admitted that he was the mastermind that planned this. He said that Fred had slipped on a spilled drink at the Krusty Krabs and broke his leg, and he was gonna sue me for $1 million. I couldn't let this happen, so I decided to kill him. I would have gotten away with this too if it weren't for you meddling kids. And that's how Mystery Incorporated wrapped up yet another mystery. Fred and his leg got justice, Scooby and Shaggy got some Scooby snacks, and everyone was happy. Oh, by the way, these are the references I have used. Hasta la vista!